In the shadows where the veil thins, truth whispers, unseen forces stir, and the unknown calls your name. Here, in the depths of the metaphysical, the darkness is not to be feared, it is to be understood. But beyond the night, there is also light. For every shadow there is a glow, for every question an answer waiting to be found. We walk the line between mystery and revelation, between fear and enlightenment. Welcome to Lumino and Umbra, where we embrace both the seen and the unseen, the dark and the divine. Dilik Aktan, your guide on this journey beyond the veil. Together, you will discover the secrets of the metaphysical world, step by step, shadow by light. Now, here is your host, Dilik Aktan.
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are together with the continuing part of the rarest informations about chakras. But before that, last time that we were talking about was we ended the last video with a question, and that question was actually, is it true that someone can access or influence another person through their chakras? So I want you guys to think about it for a little, and I will put the comments on the stage. And if you would like to message and say hi, feel free to do so. Or if you have any comments about the subject, you definitely can feel free to do so as well. And so, it was such a hectic week, that's for sure. Before we start with everything, I would like to quick shot to my disclaimer about this subject. Before we delve into the fascinating world of chakras, I want to be clear about a few things. The information in this podcast is based on a variety of sources, both verified and unverified, and is presented for informational and entertainment purposes only. It is absolutely not my intention to influence or change your personal beliefs in any way. Your personal journey and the conclusions you draw are entirely your own. And you have the sole right to your own judgment and discernment on these topics. Please be aware that I cannot be held responsible for any personal interpretations or comments you may have regarding the subjects discussed. This podcast and any accompanying videos are intended solely for an adult audience of 18 years or older. If you are under the age of 18, please exit this podcast or video now. Thank you for your understanding and for respecting this disclaimer. Now, let's begin. And hello, P-Brain. Let's see, where was I left? Last video, we have talked about the relation between Freemasonry and chakras. And also we have talked about the chakras based on the classical way, 7 chakra system based on the Vedic and Hindu Tantra system. And we have talked about the Buddhist system, Kabbalah system, and blah, blah, other systems you will see as well. If you have missed that video, I highly suggest you to watch that one. So now let's get back to our question. that was actually, we should supposed to talk that. Is it true that someone can access or influence another person through their chakras? In esoteric, occult, and energetic traditions, the short answer is yes. It is believed that a skilled practitioner can influence, manipulate, or even bend aspects of a person's energy by interacting with one or more chakras. But this is not without great consequences, both metaphysical and karmic. So this is actually the most important part of it, because actually when you do the access of it, you are actually taking the responsibility of the karmic and the metaphysical parts of this subject. How can someone access another person's chakras? This is actually the part that everything is getting more interesting. From a metaphysical perspective, access might be attempted through energetic hooks, magnetic influence, emotional entrapment, sexual or tantric bonding, astral projection, or remote viewing are the possible ways of entering, having access to someone's chakras. The energetic hooks are the implants or cords that attach to a chakra and siphon energy, often in the sacral or solar plexus chakras that are happening, or siphon the energy, which technically draining the energy. That's what we are talking about. Magnetic influence. Hopefully I can speak. Mercury is not retrograding, but I don't know what's going on with me. All right, so magnetic influence is using thought forms, sigils, or rituals to direct psychic energy to the target's chakra field, which this is possible if somebody who is skilled practitioner can do this. Emotional entrapment is manipulation through emotions like love, guilt, fear, can create psychic openings, especially in the heart or throat chakras. Which also, this is the part, emotional entrapment part is coming with the with narcissists. That's how actually, like, without realizing, without the doing it consciously, they can actually manipulate your heart chakra and throat chakras, and that's how actually you're getting manipulated like that way. And both of those chakras, which heart chakra is right here, throat chakra is right here, that are getting affected by narcissist people. Another thing that was the sexual or tantric bonding. In left-hand tantra, sexual union can be used to open, drain, or bend a chakra, especially sacral and heart chakras. Astral projection or remote viewing are actually giving access for the advanced practitioners claim to enter another's energetic field in the astral plane and interact with their subtle body as well. What happens if someone gains control over another's chakras. This is really interesting part. So according to occult texts and metaphysical traditions, they might, let's say, enter to the root chakra. They gain the control over your root chakra. I will actually explain all of the chakras. I will try to explain. But if they gain the control over your root chakra, they can induce fear, dependency, survival panic to you. The sacral if the sacral chakra is the subject of it, then they can have the control of your controlling desire, sexual energy, and emotional dependency. Solar plexus chakra is actually giving control to other people, as they can dominate your willpower, induce self-doubt or submission. Heart chakra is letting them to create emotional bondage, false love, heartbreak loops, and more. Throat chakra, if it is the subject of them controlling, suppress expression that is happening, enforce silence or obedience. And if third eye is the subject of this, they can cause confusion, break your intuition, implant false visions in your third eye. And let's talk about the crown chakra, that they can control severe divine connection, induce spiritual despair or worship. However, true control over a soul or person is rare and difficult, because every being has free will. This is actually making us different than the other beings in the universe, because we have the free will, which I have talked about that free will while I was speaking about the angels and demons. I cannot remember which part it was, either part 1 or the part 2. I think it was part 1. Every being has free will, and the soul is inherently sovereign. Long-term control requires constant energetic maintenance, and there is karmic backlash for unethical use of spiritual force. So that is going to backfire at whoever is doing all these. And now I also would like to give a warning from the esoteric law. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, but also every act returns thricefold. In many systems like Wicca, Hermetics, Hindu karma yoga, and whatever else you would want to call, spiritual manipulation without consent is a violation of natural and divine law. It means the user as much as the victim. What you control controls you back. That is true. It's like a boomerang, and that boomerang, when you throw it out there, if you're thinking that it's not going to come back, it will, because the karma is existing also. Ethical use of chakra and knowledge. Let's talk about this part of it as well. Instead of control, many mystics and energy workers use chakra interaction to heal traumas in others with their permission. Clear energetic blockages. Activate dormant soul gifts. balance emotional and mental states, reclaim sovereignty and power. The greatest masters from Buddha to Hermes Trismegistus to Jesus taught freedom of the soul, not enslavement. So that is the most important thing. We all are here to free the souls, not turning them into the slaves or enslaving the souls like that. If you want defense from all these to protect your chakras from such intrusion, you can visualize gold or violet light spiraling around your spine. You can use sigils of protection or call upon guardians like archangels, ancestors, or totems. You can practice energy hygiene, which is like the energy clearing rituals, cord cutting rituals, or aura cleansing sessions, or all these sessions. You can strengthen your solar plexus and third eye for your personal power and awareness, and so that way you are not vulnerable to these dark forces. Always maintain conscious boundaries, both energetic and emotional. And also, I was making a little bit of research, so while I have dived deep into this subject, I was wondering if there was any proof of soul enslavement by controlling chakras in the occult and esoteric history. And actually, the answer is yes. It is interesting. So I would like to say that there is a proof of soul enslavement by controlling chakras in the occult and esoteric history. Yes, in occult and esoteric history, there are numerous stories, grimoires, initiatory texts, and testimonies that suggest the possibility of soul enslavement or domination through chakra manipulation. Though this is almost always veiled in allegory, myth, or symbolic language. These accounts appear in Hermeticism, Gnosticism, Dark Tantra, medieval grimoires, and modern occult writings. Sorry, I was about to say readings. However, no mainstream science confirms this. These are mystical, experiential, or symbolic truths understood within the paradigm of energy, consciousness, and soul mechanics. So the soul enslavement part is literally like this. And if you have any question about it, and if there is anything that you would like me to explain, definitely ask so I can explain it. If not, I am moving on to the other rare informations about chakras, which we are coming back with the ancient Hermetic and Egyptian mysterious, especially in the Egyptian book of Coming Forth by Day, which is the Book of Dead. We're going to be talking about how actually the Book of Dead is perceiving chakras. Souls are said to be judged and can be bound by their own heart if they fail to live in harmony based on the mod part. Hello, Michelle. I believe you were the one that I was going to give you a reading for finding the spiritual guides. And if I'm not wrong, confirm me about it, please. If I'm remembering wrong or right, let me know. I was going to, if I don't remember wrong, I was going to give you a reading. Next week, I will be doing the live readings. Then you can show up and I can give you the reading about it. So, just so you know. So, the Book of Dead is actually perceiving the chakras in a different way. Ritualists in temples were trained to manipulate the Ba, which is soul, and Ka is the life force. So they can manipulate Ba and Ka through sacred resonance and energetic centers, precursors to chakras. So this is actually the interesting part. And these texts hint that priests could alter the spiritual trajectory of souls through chanting, ritual geometry, and chakra gateways like the heart and throat. Okay. And the second part is coming up with the another rare information is coming up with the Kabbalistic Qliphoth, which is called Shadow Tree of Life. In dark or reverse Kabbalah, the Qliphoth are the husks or shells, inverted versions of the divine Sephiroth, which are chakras, soul stations, etc. They are calling it like that in their practicing, in their teachings. Practitioners working with the Qliphothic path using left-hand path or Luciferian or anti-cosmic systems speak of binding souls to shadow spheres, especially via Yesod, foundation, sacral, and Tiferet, which is the heart. Oh, yes, thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate it for answering me on that because I actually was thinking that. So I will do the readings, free live readings next week and the upcoming week. So for the last 2 weeks of the month is becoming the live reading days for me. And that's why I was going to do that. Yes, you can ask all your questions about it during that reading time, if that's okay. And thank you so much for showing up in here, Michelle. I really appreciate it. No readings today, but I definitely will give readings next week and then the week upcoming after that. So for the last 2 weeks, I will be giving readings like that, live and free. So you can show up anytime. And I hope that's okay with you. All right, so I will keep talking about the subject. So based on the Kabbalah, or actually the reverse Kabbalah, in dark or reverse Kabbalah that we were talking about this subject. So practitioners working with the Qliphothic path used in left-hand path or Luciferian or anti-cosmic systems speak of bending souls to shadow spheres, which we are talking about the actual shadow spheres, especially via Yesod. Yesod, that I actually talked about it in the previous part of this subject, in the first episode of this subject, so you can check that one for the last week as well. And Tiferet is heart, okay? So they can use the Yesod. Yesod is the foundation and the sacral chakra, okay? And the Tiferet is the heart. And they can use those to bend souls to shadow spheres, into the shadow spheres like that, okay? That they can do that in their teachings, in the dark Kabbalah, by the way. These are sometimes described as astral prisons, realms where souls are kept in illusion, unable to rise through the divine ladder. In this part, I would like to add a little bit of information about Saturn, the planet Saturn, because there is an actual information about planet Saturn is the planet that keeps the souls in astral plane, which is the astral prison for the souls. There's a teaching for that, which I will talk about Saturn in a totally different episode, because Saturn is a whole lot different subject that it can take like a whole hour for me to talk. So that's the reason why. Keep that in mind. And thank you so much, Michelle, for good to see you too also. And if you would like to keep following me or updated information about the upcoming readings, live readings, or the other subject that I talk about it on my channel, feel free to check out my Facebook and Instagram as well. I'm so appreciated to you. Thank you so much for being in here again. But I hope you can make it. If you cannot make it, the week after that, I will do the readings as well. So I know. That's why I was waiting for you to say something. That's why I actually had a little pause. It's all good. No worries. Technology is not too fast enough for us yet. I know. I get it. It happens, unfortunately, like that. Even though the internet connection is good, but it goes up there and come down here. Takes a while. So yeah, that's why. I hope you're doing good. So let's see. Before I started into the new subject, I want to make sure if Michelle has any other things to write it down or share it with us. I will wait a little more, and then after that, I will move on to the next subject. All right, I guess that is all. So I'm moving to the new subject. That is the how grimoires and the medieval occult texts are perceiving the chakras and the soul enslavement and all that. The lesser key of Solomon, either way, especially the Goetia describes 72 spirits, which are the daemons or demons, that can influence or control the mind, emotions, and will of others. And this is, those beings are actually influencing the chakras, okay? In modern interpretations, these spirits correspond to chakras, and it's believed they can be in specific energy centers to create obsession, lust, confusion, or powerlessness. Some practitioners of ritual magic say they have witnessed astral cords or chakra hooks implanted during evocation gone wrong. You're very welcome, Michelle. I'm happy to see you in here again. I appreciate it so much. So it is highly possible that actually some practitioners can use some ritual magic and they can actually influence the astral cords or chakra hooks that they can implant to the chakras during the evocation gone wrong. That's another thing. And tantric left hand path, which is called Vama Marga, which I can write it down in here for you guys. You guys can make your own judgment on that as well. There we go. Vama Marga. Ta-da! Whoa, okay. Michelle says in my country it's 1 at night when you go online, so sometimes it's hard to keep awake. Oh, thank you so much. All the way from Denmark. Yeah, I am in the United States, so that's the reason why we're having this time issue. That's right. The time difference is actually killing. I agree with that. That's for sure. I wish I could do the readings earlier, but when I do it earlier like that, then a lot of the people are at work usually around like still 5 o'clock ish and stuff. So that's the reason why I can't catch up a whole lot of people like that when I do the readings. And that's why I start that at 6 o'clock, if that makes sense to you. Sorry about that, but I hope I'm not keeping you awake too much. Next time, when I do the readings next week at 6 o'clock, you can show up right away. And the first thing that I can give you the reading, and then after that, you can just go to sleep like this. I don't want to keep you guys up so long like that because it's across the ocean, and I totally understand how it is. That's the reason why I totally respect that. Thank you so much for being in here. I really appreciate it. So Vama Marga is the tantric left-hand path, which is the dark tantra or taboo tantra. Okay? In dark or taboo tantra, some initiates attempt to gain siddhis, which siddhis means powers. And siddhis, doesn't it so sound familiar, like from the Star Wars, the Sith lords, like that siddhis? And it is actually kind of in a way written down in a similar way, so I can actually give you guys that too, which it is called siddhis right here. Shoot that on the screen. Here we go. So siddhis sounds like Sith, right? Just like the Sith Lord from the Star Wars. Oof, I love Star Wars so much, but anyways. In dark or taboo tantra, some initiates attempt to gain powers, the siddhis, by dominating others' chakras, especially via sexual rituals using sacral and heart chakra centers. Okay, these two are the main ones for the tantric left-hand path, that they can actually manipulate it or control it, or they can dominate it or whatever. They can do that. These acts are said to allow energetic access, and in extreme cases, practitioners warn of becoming karmically bound to another soul across lifetimes. Enslavement through karmic cords, this is called. Which is the interesting part, because you're actually doing something without knowing that. Actually, if you don't know what you're doing, of course, you are actually causing or creating a karmic cord, karmic bond in between one another like that. And this can last for like literally lifetimes, as I have just said it. And it is actually really dangerous practices. So I definitely do not suggest anyone to do any of these practices. Definitely, these are really dangerous. Also, certain texts from Agari and Kola traditions mention chakra bending as forbidden knowledge that leads to spiritual ruin if misused. Okay, so it is actually really important, as I am personally not suggesting that to do all these practices, but yet also these are in some traditions forbidden knowledge, forbidden practices as well. Michelle is saying something. Oh, sometimes I'll play it. I'll try and see you next week. Oh, thank you so much. See you later, Michelle. Bye-bye. Hope I can see you. If not, the week after that, I will be giving free live readings as well. Then I can see you guys. All right, so let's start talking about the modern esoteric testimonies. So books and systems like I will actually write it down, which is Barbara Marchiniak's Pleiadian Teachings. I have read this book, which is an interesting book, by the way. If you can find it, I highly suggest you to read this book as well. So I will write these books and show it for you guys. This is Barbara. When I have read this book, and I also have read this, this book online. It is really interesting, you know. All right, so this is one of the book, Barbara Marchiniak's Pleiadian Teachings. And this book is actually talking the whole about everything that you should supposed to know, not just about chakras or anything. It's like all about the universe, and I highly suggest you to read this book. It's like crazy, mind-blowing book, that's for sure, because the things that actually she's talking is literally like people actually just started talking about those things, but actually this book was written like years ago. So keep that in mind. And another book is The Raw Materials, Law of One. Oops, sorry, not that one. I will put that on as well so you can see that. It's also called Law of One. Here we go. I highly suggest you to read this one as well. The Book of Knowledge, The Keys of Enoch. I haven't read this, but the Book of Enoch was actually on a certain part that was talking about some stuff, which I'm guessing this book is including those informations and maybe a little more. I do not know honestly, but I have made the research about it, so this book actually came up with this information as well. The Book of Knowledge, which is the Keys of Enoch, okay, but the other one is, I will write it down, Occult Psychonaut, which is interesting. Psychonaut Reports. I hope, yeah, I did. Okay, I was not so sure if I put it right or wrong, so here it is. This is another book that I can actually suggest you for these subjects. So when I made the research, these books popped up, but I would like to say that these books suggest that souls can be hijacked, manipulated, or bound in lower dimensional fields if they are energetically compromised, particularly at the solar plexus, which is the will chakra, and or it could be the third eye chakra, which is the vision. So keep that in mind. It is really interesting. And also, I would like to definitely do this warning for you guys. Warning themes in occult lore. Many traditions carry stories of magicians who overreached, entities, initiates who opened their chakras without protection, and all that. So magicians who overreached, and bound souls or their own to servitude. And if we talk about the entities, both angelic and demonic, that use chakra level hooks to enslave or contract souls for service, which is another part, initiates who open their chakras without protection, resulting in possession, energetic fragmentation, or soul loss. These accounts are not proof in the scientific sense, but they are consistent patterns across cultures and traditions, suggesting a shared esoteric reality. So, at this part, I have another question for all of you, which is soul enslavement permanent? According to mystical teachings, no enslavement is truly permanent because the divine spark is indestructible. What is the divine spark? The Atman, monad, or higher self. But a soul can be bound for cycles, experiencing pain, illusion, or disempowerment until it reclaims sovereignty. Liberation always begins with conscious awakening, chakra healing, and spiritual purification. There are some defenses in ancient traditions, okay? I will also talk about these a little bitty, just a tidbit, because this is something important actually. Somewhat, at least, we should have an idea, which nobody or not many people talk about it, but actually we should, because this is actually real. We can go through soul enslavement without knowing what actually is happening to us. In Vedic tradition, the defense method that you can use is mantras or bija sounds or kundalini yoga. In Kabbalah tradition, you can use the defense method as names of God, angelic invocations, and Merkava travels. In Christian mysticism, you can use the defense method as prayer, exorcism, sacred oil, Holy Spirit invocation, or holy water as well. In Hermeticism, the defense method you can use is planetary seals, alchemical transmutation, and solar wells. And based on the modern occultism, you can use banishing rituals, sigils of sealing, and etheric armor are the another defense methods. Okay. And now at this point, I would like to ask this question: what is the relation between Kundalini and chakras? Yeah. So if you would like to learn about the Kundalini energy, Kundalini energy is actually explained really good in the book that I was mentioning, Barbara Monchiniak's Pleiadian Teachings book, that was mentioning the Kundalini energy very well, very detailed. That is perfect if you would like to learn about the Kundalini energy. And also, if you would like to learn about the Kundalini energy, I can suggest an author that you can read his books, which this is his nickname, because he didn't use his real name when he was writing his books. There's, I believe, only 2 or 3 books of his around. His name is Lobsang Grandpa. Lobsang Grandpa is a priest from a Tibetan monastery, or I would say Tibetan tradition. He actually lived as a monk or priest, or kind of in a way like the medical priest that you can call in a modern way. And this guy has 2 or 3 different books, but I'm reading the second one. One of them, the first book is The Third Eye. In the book Third Eye, he's talking about the Kundalini energy, but actual Kundalini energy, but the details of it that he is talking about it right now. Unfortunately, I cannot remember the book, but if I remember, I can mention it or pin it under this video so you guys can actually have an access to read all these books as well. He is talking about every single details of Kundalini energy that you're supposed to know and learn. It is highly interesting, and I highly suggest for everyone and anyone to read it. And this guy is actually talking about his life experiences from the age of 7 or maybe a little earlier age, but he's actually talking about all of his life experiences after his third eye got opened with a surgical like or the third eye surgery that has been practiced on him, that has applied on him right on his third eye. And after that practice, or after that experience, he actually has gone through a lot of things that he is talking about all this stuff, but yet he is talking about all the esoterical, occultic stuff that actually are the basics of a lot of knowledges that we are just learning now. But he actually was the one that he knew all those way back in the day, I would say, around like World War II and stuff. So I highly suggest you guys to read this guy's books. Okay, he's talking about the Kundalini energy. So the relationship between Kundalini and the chakras is profound, sacred, and central to nearly all esoteric and yogic systems. You can think of Kundalini as the divine latent force, and the chakras as the gates, keys, and thresholds that this force must pass through to awaken your cosmic self. So let's explore this in both mystical symbolism and subtle anatomy. 5 minutes later, I will take a little bit of break, and then after that, we will talk more about the chakra subject as well. So, what is Kundalini? Kundalini is a primordial energy, often depicted as a coiled serpent, which I have talked about. If I can find that image, I would like to show you guys. This is important. Yeah, right here. Let's do that. So the image right on the very right side, only one serpent, only one snake is actually going around the wand. That is Kundalini, okay? That is representing the Kundalini. And that is the serpent, the coiled serpent that is talking about it. So that symbolism right there is actually representing the Kundalini energy. And This Kundalini is often depicted as a coiled serpent resting 3.5 times around the base of the spine, which that part right there is the spine. The one coiled right there, 3.5, that's what we see, exactly how it is. In the Muladhara, which is the root chakra, this is where actually the serpent is coiled, okay? It is actually where it is laying down, where its base is. The term comes from Sanskrit meaning coiled one or circular power. Kundalini means coiled one or circular power. It is said to be Shakti, the feminine divine force dormant within every human being. Okay, which we will talk about the Shakti and the I cannot remember right now. I forgot his name. Shakti and Shiva. I don't want to say it wrong, but it might not be the Shiva. The union of Shakti and I cannot remember its name. Gosh, I'm not real good at keeping the names in my head. But I will talk about it eventually on this part as well. You will see. So the Kundalini is actually the potential for divine realization and union with the infinite. Okay? And we all have the Kundalini force in ourselves. Usually it awakens all by itself around the age of 40 in everyone. But people are thinking that around that age, that it is actually their sexual powers awaken and they're going through all that middle age crisis like that in a way. So it's definitely not like that. Everybody needs to be aware of their Kundalini energy and to be monitored as well. So the mystical relationship with the Kundalini energy and the chakras is Kundalini is the energy that rises through the chakras. When awakened, Kundalini ascends from the root chakra and travels upward through each chakra, as we are seeing it on the symbol, on the very right symbol. That is one serpent that going around the wand. So, and travels upward through each chakra, purifying and activating all of it. Okay, each chakra must be balanced and cleared for Kundalini to pass without resistance. As she rises, which is called she because of the Shakti feminine energy, as she rises, each chakra blooms, unlocking latent powers known as siddhis, which we have talked previously, not too long ago, insights, and inner transformations. It is the alchemical fire that transforms human awareness into divine consciousness. Chakras are stations of initiation according to the Kundalini energy, like the relationship between the Kundalini energy and the chakras is something like this, because chakras are the stations of initiation. As Kundalini passes through a chakra, the seeker undergoes specific tests or revelations. Root chakra is indicating survival or grounding energies. Sacral chakra is representing the desire, emotion. Solar plexus chakra is representing ego, willpower. Heart chakra is representing compassion, love. Throat chakra is representing truth and voice. The third eye chakra is representing vision and clarity. Crown chakra is representing the union with divine. Many ancient systems describe this as the serpent climbing the tree of life, or the soul rising through the heavens. Okay, so now we are coming to the Shiva and Shakti union. Yeah, I was right about it earlier. I could not remember it exactly, but here let's talk about that. Shiva and Shakti union. Kundalini is the Shakti, is the feminine force rising from below, which is rising from the root chakra to the crown chakra. Shiva is pure consciousness, resides in the crown chakra, which is the Sahasrara. And Shiva energy and consciousness, like the spiritual journey, is the sacred marriage of Shakti and Shiva. And energy and consciousness, matter and spirit, this is all what these two are representing. When they unite, it results in samadhi, which means super conscious state, which is causing that in human body. Bliss, which is ananda, we have talked about that. Cosmic union, which is moksha or liberation. Liberation is in a way like the soul liberation. All right, so the visual symbolism, I will talk about that as well, and I will finish this subject, and then after that I will take the break time. So the visual symbolism, as we have it on the screen right now, with the wings on the caduceus with the two serpents around it, it is called the caduceus of Hermes, two serpents entwined, which means Kundalini rising through dual channels, which is Ida and Pingala, around the central Sushumna. Okay, which central Sushumna is our actual what is that called? Gosh, I forgot its name. Which is our spine. Yes. So that's the reason why all these serpents are actually going all around our spine like this. And the tree of Kabbalah, which is a symbol in the middle, this is according to Kabbalah, which this symbol is called as Sephiroth, is showing all our chakras. The top circle one is actually representing our head. The two are representing our shoulders, and it goes down like that, which is following our arms, base, and legs, and all the way down to the feet. And the tree of life, according to Kabbalah, is the serpent of wisdom rises the tree. Okay, but we don't see the actual serpent on this symbolism. That's another thing. And the staff of Moses, which is the last symbolism that we have in here, the staff of Moses, Kundalini awakened to bring divine power and freedom. Okay, these three symbolisms are really important. These three symbols are really important in the symbolism based on the chakras, chakra information, and the Kundalini informations as well. But I would like to give you guys a heads up and a quick warning about the Kundalini energy. Spiritual caution about the Kundalini energy, because Kundalini is not just energy, it has its own intelligence. It is intelligence, okay? It must be awakened with respect, devotion, and inner purity. Unbalanced chakras can lead to Kundalini crisis, emotional flooding, and or even delusions. In true Tantra, awakening is never forced. It is earned through devotion, surrender, discipline, and initiation. So this is the part of the Kundalini energy. But what follows is a curated unveiling of rare occult and the hidden chakra knowledge drawn from obscure grimoires, hermetic manuscripts, secret tantric scrolls, Rosicrucian and alchemical texts, and Gnostic writings. These insights are not commonly known or published, and they stem from the inner teachings of initiatic schools, oral transmissions, and astral experiences recorded in esoteric traditions. I will talk about these when I come back. So right now, I highly would like to get the little bit of the break for sure. And I hope I can jump in. Yes, let's take the break.
In the shadows where the veil thins, truth whispers, unseen forces stir, and the unknown calls your name. Here, in the depths of the metaphysical, the darkness is not to be feared. It is to be understood. But beyond the night, there is also light. For every shadow, there is a glow. For every question, an answer waiting to be found. We walk the line between mystery and revelation, between fear and enlightenment. Welcome to Lumino and Umbra, where we embrace both the seen and the unseen, the dark and the divine. Dilik Aktan, your guide on this journey beyond the veil. Together, you will discover the secrets of the metaphysical world, step by step, shadow by light. Now, here is your host, Dilik Aktan.
Hello, welcome back, everyone. So, having a little bitty break time actually was really good, honestly. I gave a little bit of break time to my jaw and my mouth. All good. Okay. So now let's talk about these very rare informations, hidden informations that you may not see or hear anywhere around, really. Chakras as dimensional portals to other worlds, which I have talked about it in the first part of this subject last week, and you can find all that informations in that video as well. In regards to this subject to make sense to you, I highly suggest you to watch that one patiently. I know it was a little bit boring part of it. It was not really talking about that much of the soul enslavement or the juju stuff, just like this one. So that's the reason why. Let's talk about that. But before, let me take a little bit sip of my water. Oof. All right, so I will start writing down the books again. As I have talked, the last one was the Lobsang Rampa. All right, here we are. So, in theosophical and Rosicrucian texts, such as the Inner Life by okay, I couldn't. That was wrong. Okay, so this is one of the book that we will talk about it. And I need to figure something out in here real quick. Let's see. All right, I'm back. Not this one. All right, let's do just this one. Here we go. I'm all here about myself. All right, so no more symbolism, but if I have to bring that up on the screen, I will. So, according to this book right here, you can also make your own research, make your own judgment, make your own discernment about all these subjects as well. But chakras as dimensional portals to other worlds, and this book is talking about it, is suggesting something different. Each chakra is not just an energy center, but a dimensional gateway into different planes of existence. The throat chakra opens access to the Akashic records, which I agree with that, because there is a certain way to do and actually tap into the Akashic records in that sense. The heart chakra acts as a bridge to interdimensional beings and angelic realms. That's true as well, because if you open up your heart chakra to the angelic realms, you actually can make a communication with all those angels or angelic beings. The third eye allows access to the astral and mental planes and even contact with inner earth civilizations. So the inner earth civilizations, I don't know that part because I have never tried, honestly, but you can. It's actually sounds logic to me. I have never tried, honestly. I don't know. But inner earth civilizations that we are talking about, like the Agartha, Shambhala, and all that, which Shambhala is actually real because Shambhala civilization, the author that I was talking a little bit ago, his name is Lobsang Rampa. He was talking about that as well. So hello, Dominic. Thank you so much for being in here. I appreciate it. And the crown chakra is a portal to non-dual states and hypercosmic intelligences, the monad realm, it's called. Okay, it's based on this book and also the other occult sources. They are unpublished initiating teachings of the Order of the Golden Dawn and Rudolf Steiner's inner circles as well. So let's talk about reverse chakras and inverted kundalini. It's actually a very interesting part that we're diving deep into that. Okay, so in the left hand path and the Qliphothic Kabbalah, it is believed that each chakra has a shadow twin, which I believe in this always, because every chakra has its own shadow side, which is naturally coming with the duality part. Like as we have our own light side, also we have our own shadow side as well. So this is all actually coming from that, if that makes sense. And the chakras have, based on this duality law, chakras has their own shadow sides, shadow twin. These are known as reverse chakras, corresponding to the Qliphoth, which is the shadow tree of life. In these teachings, the inverted Kundalini, sometimes called the black flame or Typhonian current, rises downward, like it is going this way, opening forbidden awareness and non-human experiences. Some magicians have described anti-samadhi states where the ego becomes godlike rather than dissolving into God. This is another part of it. Also, I would like to give you guys a warning. These teachings are considered dangerous even within occult circles and are only taught to adepts under strict secrecy. So I am definitely personally not encouraging you guys to do all these practices or put deep interest in these teachings, which you can learn. Nothing is wrong about learning all these, but practicing all these is dangerous. So keep it all in mind. Hidden chakras between and beyond the seven chakras, seven advanced esoteric maps often describe hidden or secret chakras, including Bindu chakra, Manas chakra, Vayavi chakra, Talu chakra, which earlier we were talking about these, but it was in a different way in the previous episode. So if you would like to check that one out as well, I highly suggest you to do so. I was talking about the 12 chakras and more, because actually we have talked about the 32 chakras as well. And if you're interested in that, I definitely suggest you to check that one out. So I will write the names of these chakras. Bindu chakra. Let's see, right here. This could be easier for you guys. So you guys can make your own actual judgment, discernment, and whatever you would like to learn about all these. Bindu chakra, Manas chakra, which I'm just writing their names, not saying the chakra, but we are talking about the chakras so you guys can see that. Vayavi chakra and Talu chakra. Okay, so these are the chakras that I will be talking about. It. Bindu chakra is located at the back of the head, source of immortal nectar, which is called Amrita, is actually right there. Manas chakra between the throat and the heart, right here, linked to the soul's mirror and cosmic memory. Vayavi chakra, a subtle air-based chakra above the crown, which we had talked about, that acts as a soul star portal. When I was talking about the 12 chakras, this was the part of it as well. Talu chakra, gateway to the dream realms and psychic ether, often activated through lucid dreaming or astral projection. All right. So the occult source for this information is the Kola Tantra scrolls, Shiyama Tantra, Steiner's 12-petaled lotus doctrine, and the Melchizedek Mystery School teachings that are upcoming as a source of these informations, if you're wondering. So let's talk about the chakras and the planetary entities. In planetary magic, Each chakra is ruled not just by a planet, by its intelligent spiritual regent, such as the root chakra. It is actually represented with the Saturn, which is coming with the Zazel. I can actually write it down. Or Zazel, how you want to say it, I don't know. But I say Zazel. I believe that's how you read it. And I will write all those beings and their names in here, so that can make sense when I'm talking to you guys about it. Graphio and Hagiel and Tiriel, Malka, Bay, here we go. And then Nakia. Yes. So here is all these beings that I will put up, and you guys can make your own research and make your own judgment and discernment about it as well. Like I have talked about it during the disclaimer as I was pointing out all these things. So root chakra is represented by the planet of Saturn. Zazel, which is the very first being that I have written in here, or Zazel, guardian of gates and karmic law. Okay, that is representing the root chakra. Sacral chakra is represented with the planet of Jupiter, and its being is Hismael, is fertility and expansion being. Solar plexus is represented by Mars, the planet of Mars. And the Graphiel, the warrior of will, is the being representation being of this chakra. Heart chakra is represented by Venus, and Hagiel is the angel of divine, is representing this heart chakra as well. Throat chakra is represented by Mercury, which its being is Tiriel, Lord of the Word. And the third eye is represented by Moon, Malka bet Tarshishim. It's hard to say it. Malka bet Tarshishim is represented by this being, and it is actually representing also the dream matrix. Crown chakra is represented by Sun, and its being is Nakia, radiant fire of divine mind. Okay, these names and forces were often encoded into sigils and talismans, and each chakra invocation called upon one of these spirits. And if you are looking for an occult source for this, the Magus by Francis Barrett, 3 books of occult philosophy by Agrippa, and Planetary Kabbalah are the occult sources for about these informations, if you're interested. We also have, this is the part that is very interesting, we have a death chakra, literally. You can make your own research and judgment about it as well, but I will write it down in here for you guys to get your attention. So the death chakra is actually interesting. Some Gnostic and Egyptian mystery schools describe a hidden chakra that becomes active only at the moment of death. Okay, that is the death chakra, called the Ket, which is written like this. You will come up with all these informations as well. cat is the cat in ancient Egypt, or Transitus Point in modern esoteric literature, located slightly above the navel and behind the solar plexus. This chakra controls whether the soul moves to the higher realms or is reincarnated. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about the death chakra as well, but much love to you, fools and tools. Also, thank you so much for being in here. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about the death chakra before, but if you guys have heard about it, please let me know and message me on the comments. Do whatever you want. Like, I really would like to know actually if you guys have ever came across with this information, because while I was like deep diving into the chakras and everything, which this information is not really surprising me a whole lot because of the yes, cat is the gatekeeper, gateway, like all chakras, as the Fools and Tool says right here. It is true. And I was talking about like the that chakra is not surprising me with all this information, because we have the silver cord that actually comes right out of the belly, if we can locate it like that. And it is actually keeping our soul together to our body, if that makes sense. And that's the reason why, which also the Lobsang Grandpa that I was actually suggesting the author earlier, he was talking about this information, like if the soul moves to the higher realms or to moves into the reincarnation, is actually the subject in both of his books that I actually have been interested in. One of them was the Third Eye book, and the other one I still cannot remember its name, but I think it was the Second Body or something like that, its name. But you will find it, I'm pretty sure. In that book, he was talking about that as well. This chakra also controls like all these things, and it is accessed during dying consciousness rituals or ritual initiations. There are the initiations and the rituals like that. You are almost going into the death uh, state, which also Tibetans are doing that as well. Get the ferryman to get you, yes, and also you need to put the coins on the dead bodies so that actually cat can get the money to make the soul go across the other side of the river, which is the river of dead, I believe. If I don't remember wrong, I might be wrong, but I'm not really sure about it. And so there are Tibetans actually are doing, this is their teaching, one of their teachings as well for their monks and stuff. Like they all learn all these. It's interesting. They when they come up to a certain level on their teachings and all that, they are going through this death ritual or some sort of thing like that, like dying consciousness, so they can actually experience how the death is, how dying is, and they can actually understand the state of death. And that's how actually they do it. This is one of their thing, but also in occultic teachings, some occultic teachings are also doing this as well. I'm not suggesting you guys to do it at all, anyhow. So the occultic source for all these information is one of the Aleister Crowley's Book of Thoth is coming up with that, with all these informations. Gnostic Gospel of Mary Magdalene, Ritual of the Eighth Gate, which is unpublished Hermetic rites. Okay. And let's talk about the fire serpents and chakra guardians. In draconian and serpentine orders, each chakra is said to be guarded by a serpentine intelligence or fire guardian, which tests the aspirant's psychic readiness before allowing the next ascent. Can appear in dreams or inner visions as a beast, deity, or demon. If resisted or dishonored, the fire serpent devours the energy of the seeker, causing illness or mental breakdown. Only through devotion, gnosis, or shadow work can the aspirant pass these initiatory gates. Also, this information has popped up with all the things that I was making, all the researches. Sorry, I'm getting super dry in here, super hot, super dry. Oh my goodness, it's been over an hour and a half already so far. I would like to see all you guys' comments, questions, and anything about these subjects, okay? Chakras and DNA activation. Some of the meta-occult systems claiming as chakras are etheric switches for activating dormant strands of spiritual DNA. So now in this part that I will start talking about is I will mention some numbers, and before I mention these numbers, actually, oops, sorry, I would like to put those numbers actually, that will be a lot easier for all of us to understand. So, or all right, so now we are going to be talking about these. Chakras are etheric switches for activating dormant strands of spiritual DNA. The 12th strand, or 144,000th strand DNA models suggest each fully awakened chakra enables a higher codex of soul memory, interstellar lineage, and divine traits like clairvoyance, telepathy, bilocation, and all that, and even more. This is related to Merkaba light body activation and the Christic grid around the Earth. So I actually should add that up as well, so you guys can maybe understand it. Oops, sorry, I couldn't edit it. Why? Christic grid is around the world, which we will talk about what Christic grid is. Now that will make more sense. All right. What is Christic grid? The Christic grid, let me check the comments. Yes, it is the alignment of our chakras, 144,000. Yes. So now let's talk about the Christic grid. The Christic grid, also known as a crystalline grid or Christ consciousness grid, okay? This is a highly esoteric and metaphysical concept found in New Earth teachings, Ascension schools, Atlantean or Lemurian channelings as well, and certain advanced occult traditions. It refers to an energetic matrix of divine consciousness that surrounds and interpenetrates the earth, a kind of etheric scaffolding of light anchoring universal love, higher truth, and cosmic intelligence. All right. And now, the number that we're talking about is 144,000 is an actually interesting number because there's some sort of relation with this number and the DNA strands and light workers and all that. So now we are going to talk about that as well. What is the relation between 144,000 DNA strands and light workers and Jehovah's Witnesses? Okay. The number 144,000 is one of the most mysterious and sacred esoteric numbers appearing in multiple traditions, each encoding with different layers of symbolic, mystical, and energetic meaning. Okay. The 144 strand DNA model, and there is also the 144,000 light workers, star seeds, ascension souls, the 144,000 elect in Jehovah's Witness doctrine. All three are linked symbolically by the themes of divine selection, genetic and spiritual purity, and the awakening or salvation of humanity. 144,000 strand DNA model, according to occult and or starseed teachings, in advanced esoteric biology and ascension sciences, like the Enochian teachings or the Melchizedek schools, it is taught that the original human template, also called Adam Kadmon, Diamond Sun, or Katara grid being, possessed a 12-strand DNA system. Each strand of DNA connects a dimensional level, meaning full activation, 12 dimensions of consciousness, which in the very first part of this subject last week, I was talking about the 12 dimensions or more also. Each strand subdivides into 12 substrands, leading to 12 times 12, which is 144 active energy filaments, often called fired letters or scalar keys. In this system, DNA is a spiritual antenna. The 144,000 refer to the keys to rebuilding the perfected light body, connecting earth beings back to source via Merkaba mechanics. These strands were dormant after the fall of Atlantis and are being reactivated by star seeds, indigo children, and ascension initiates. And another part of the 144,000 light workers or star seeds, according to New Earth teachings in some modern spiritual and metaphysical traditions, especially ascension communities, the 144,000 are souls from higher star systems like Sirius, Arcturus, Pleiades, Lyra, who incarnated on Earth with the mission of reawakening planetary consciousness. Known as light workers, grid keepers, star seeds, or wanderers. Their purpose is to anchor high frequency energy, restore the Christic grid, and assist in the awakening of humanity to its divine origin. Traits of the 144,000 light workers is feel out of place in mainstream society, which a lot of people are calling it as like, oh, this planet is not my place, which I feel it that way too. We all are not actually from this planet, but at the same time, we all are the star seeds. But it is not really the 144,000 light workers. There's a different meaning of it that I can go with it in a different way. But a lot of the light workers feel out of place and often psychic, empathic, drawn to healing or ancient knowledge, have dreams of home or stars activated by numerological patterns like the 1111 or specifically maybe the 144 or 144,000 as well. So 144,000 in Jehovah's Witness doctrine. In Jehovah's Witness theology, drawn from the book of Revelation, which chapters 7 and 14, between 7 and 14, the 144,000 are symbolic of a special class of faithful Christians chosen by God to rule with Christ in heaven after earth. I mean, after death, after earth. I am burning out a little in here. Sorry about that. These individuals are described as being virgin in spirit, sealed on their foreheads, and redeemed from the earth. The remaining faithful will live on a paradise earth, but only the 144,000 go to heaven. So there's also another I would like to give really quick warning about it. Jehovah's Witnesses interpret this number literally, unlike the Christians who take it symbolically. That's another thing, because the biblical source is like the Revelation chapter 7, part 4. It says, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000. Exactly, it refers that. So, according to the certain systems like the DNA model system, 144,000 meaning is divine light, filaments, encoding original human template, connection to spiritual biology of higher beings. Lightworker system. In the Lightworker system, 144,000 meaning is star seeds incarnated to awaken Earth. Incarnational mission to assist humanity. This is the connection for it. And according to Jehovah's Witnesses system, 144,000 meaning is chosen elect to rule in heaven to connection spiritual elite of divine purity. Represents selection, ascension, and activation. Involve light, purity, and higher purpose, blah, blah. It goes. I'm like saying, at the end of it, I'm coming to the end of this, so I'm like going blah, blah. Sorry about that. But symbolize the restoration of original divine blueprint, whether of soul, body, or civilization. Okay. And hidden occult correlations based on this number. Sorry about that. Really started burning out in here so badly. Sorry about that. So the Kabbalistic numerology actually is given this, like, as I was talking about it earlier, 12 times 12. And so 12, one of the 12 is the tribes in Kabbalistic numerology, and the other 12 is the apostles, times 1,000, which is the divine fullness, which I can actually show you guys like this. Maybe if I can write it down, that would make more sense. I don't know why I didn't. All right, so let's go like this. 12 times 12 equals, and sorry, there's another 1,000 is coming, I forgot. And that equals to 144,000. Yes. So the Kabbalistic numerology is referring to this. The first 12 is the tribes, and then the second 12 is representing the apostles, and the 1,000 is representing the divine fullness, symbol of perfect spiritual government or universal order. According to them, its meaning is. The book of Enoch and Essenes speaks of the watchers and chosen ones who carry light clothes, and actually 144,000, the same number. I have talked about this subject when I was talking about the angels and demons. I believe it was part 1, so you can also check that one out as well. Some believe the Essenes preserved the 144,000 soul prophecy in secret scrolls hidden at Qumran, which are the Qumran Dead Sea Scrolls that it called. Okay. According to also Freemasonry and Temple Echoes, the number 144 and 12 are embedded in sacred architecture, solar calendars, and Masonic geometry. In this part, the first 12 is representing the zodiac, and then the second 12 is representing the hours, according to the Freemasonry. Okay, and some esoteric branches see the 144,000 as the true spiritual Templars in the age of Aquarius. Whew. Yes, so with all this said, I'm definitely burnt out. You guys, I have filled you guys with all sorts of informations in this episode. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. If you guys would like to talk about more stuff, feel free to talk and make comments. Let's talk about it more and more. I can talk about it until morning, but man, my jaw power is actually really burnt out. Oh my goodness. Oh, all right. So let's take the glasses off, since I don't need to pay attention to the computer so much and stuff. I can see much better like this. All right, you guys, is there any of you guys would want to make any comments about it? What do you guys think? What are your judgments, discernments about all these? What is your comment? I would like to know. You guys have listened. Some of you guys made comments about it. I'm like so excited to hear all that actually. And do you guys know what? I love talking about all these. For real, every month I will be making the really deep subjects, like I will be making the research like this about the certain subjects, and then I will be talking about all those. But next week and the week after that, I will be doing my free live readings. So if you guys are interested in that, don't forget that, which I actually will post it in here. Yeah, as I just posted the free live readings next week and the week after that I will be doing, I highly suggest you guys to show up in here if you guys would like to get some readings from me. Oof. Thanks to my jaw power, I guess I have been talking forever. It's been almost 2 hours. I will be in here 7 more minutes to see if anybody is making any comments or asking any questions. And I will wait for you guys because I know the comments are showing up late on the screen. I know that. Technology, you gotta love it. It's slow still, even though it doesn't even matter how the good internet connection is still. You write it down, it shows up on your screen, goes up there and then comes back down. Takes a couple minutes at least. But yeah, you guys tell me if there is anything. I'll be here waiting for you guys. And then after that, I'll be going bye-bye. Oh, thank you so much, Tools and Tools. I love it. I actually love your comments, which I see that you know stuff about all these. I really appreciate it for all your intelligent comments. I'm so excited to have one more subscriber like you. Thank you so much, for real. I love talking about all these. And if you, yes, exactly, it's the RAM in a head, our own Intel, yes, exactly. I totally agree with you. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do, Fools and Tools. I really love it. Thank you so much for all your support and everything. I really love this because actually this is kind of in a way adventure to me, but also people who are just tapping into the spirituality is also in a way like an adventure for them as well, because it's like showing the light and dark side of spirituality, which I love that. I'm not considering myself as a completely light person or light worker or a dark worker, but I know that I'm a gray worker. I'm like the gray arts person, most likely. So that's the reason why I'm like so interested in all these. And I really love it. And I love that finally I found one more person just like me. Thank you for being in here. Oh, oh my goodness. It was such a long process for me. I hope it works out good for you all as well, or whoever is going to watch this afterwards. Yes, exactly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Fools and Tools. I really appreciate it. Oh, my knuckles and my wrists are just cracking. I can feel that. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but sitting in front of the computer for a while like this made me so stiff. Oh, I am actually so happy to do all these, and maybe some more people like you, that I can get the attention of more people like this. I love it. I love talking about all these deep stuff like this, because a lot of the people don't talk. A lot of the people are talking very shallow stuff about the spirituality, and I'm just sick of it. You know, much love to you too. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. There you go. Much love for you too. So, yeah, going deep into all these subjects actually is important. People who are new, doesn't even matter actually if you're new in your spiritual journey, or in the midway of your spiritual journey, or maybe you're advanced, somebody who knows what to do and their own stuff and everything, doesn't matter. I love doing and talking all these for real. Last a minute and a half. I'm almost about to go. Next time you guys need to wish me for more jaw power as well. My jaw is hurting for real. I never talk like this long and this much. It's like weird. Well, I hope everything goes good for you guys. Exactly, it's the onion skins. Rip them off, rip the band-aid off. Exactly, tools and fools. I agree with you so much. Because being shallow is not helping to any of the spiritual people, or who are just tapping into their spirituality. People don't know what is the actual things about the light and dark stuff like that. They're just so new, or maybe just don't have the deep knowledge enough about it. I don't know. But I love talking about all these for real. All right. It is now 2 hours, and I am going to let you all go. Thank you so much for being in here, you guys. I really appreciate it so much for subscribes, likes, and shares. I would like to see you guys next week in here. Thank you so much, Fools and Tools, for everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, exactly. We all have to embrace all aspects of self. It's not just the light part, it's not just the dark part, but it is all aspects of it. Exactly. Start seeing the big picture is exactly starting like this. So yeah, thank you so much for everyone being in here with me. Thank you so much for all the subscribes, likes, and shares. Please don't forget to be with me in here next week because I will be giving free live readings. And if you would like to have your questions and ask your questions to me, feel free to come here and tap into my show. Thank you so much. I will see you guys later. Have a good night, buddies. Have a good night.